Let's talk about the filters in the PS-20. The first thing you need to know is that these are not an attempt to duplicate the famous Minimoog filter sound. They have a rather distinctly different sound, and it can be kind of nasty. It can also be very thick. So it gives this instrument a character all its own. Now, we're going to listen first to, let's just listen to one oscillator through wide open filters. Sounds like nothing in particular. Okay, before I do that, however, I need to mention that this synth is very nicely designed from the standpoint that the oscillators and filters are anti-aliased, which means you can play clear up to the top of the keyboard without making any funny aliasing artifacts. And that's not an obvious feature, but it's quite cool. Now we're going to run through the high-pass filter here. Let's start with the high-pass filter. We've got a sawtooth wave, and we're going to add peak, which is equivalent to resonance. Well, it doesn't appear to be doing much yet. So you can hear we've added a nice nasal quality to it. And if we add drive, you do get a nice peaky filter quality out of it. Another thing to be aware of is the fact that there is a nice browser here. We'll select a preset. There are, over 100, maybe 160 different presets, all nicely organized. If you want to find, let's say, leads or keyboard sounds, it's very easy to do that. You can obviously save your own presets in your own categories, which again is very nice. Now let's talk about the envelope generators. There are two of them. This one is fairly simple. It has a delayed onset. It has an attack time. It has a release time. They both have velocity amount at the bottom. This one has a gate on-off switch, which means that if it goes like this, it's an attack release envelope. If it goes like this, it's an attack decay envelope. Envelope 2 is attack, decay, sustain, release with a hold knob. And the hold knob you might think would make this an attack, hold, decay, sustain envelope, but that's not how it works. The hold applies to the incoming gate signal, not between the attack and the decay. The result is that you can, if you're playing live, let's say, you could turn the hold up to 20 seconds. You could tap a key briefly, and the note will last for 20 seconds while your hand is off doing something else. But in the meantime, if you tap the key again, it's not going to do anything because it's busy playing the note that you just played. Normally, this envelope modulates both the loudness and the filter. But that's where the patching comes in. You can switch it around however you want. You could have this one modulate the loudness and this one just the filter, or vice versa. You could also use the LFO to trigger one of these repeatedly, thereby creating more complex envelope situations.